Get the cream, precious metals or the crypto things. Your bars are light like the one that's on the Smith machine.
Let's talk Extreme Rules, because WWE seems to forgot the Extreme Rules for the Extreme Rules show. All right, this is Extreme Rules prediction show. I completely forgot about it until I watched SmackDown. See, this is the problem with all the hot shotting. You know, you do a lot of hot shotting and then you forget about the pay-per-view. WWE produces so much television that you kind of forget about the pay-per-views anyway. But it wasn't until I watched SmackDown and I was like, whoa, it is a pay-per-view on Sunday. Because they've done so much, especially on Raw within the last couple of weeks. And they've changed 2 titles on Raw just as a way of, again, hot-shotting. That we kind of forgot that there was a pay-per-view. And none of the new champions are featured. So that's the one thing we should be mentioning. Like, I know a lot of people are upset at the lack of Extreme Rules on Extreme Rules. Which I think they probably will add something to the Usos and the Street Profits. This is going to be recorded before they actually do. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it like a ladder match or something. But there's no Big E on this show. No Lashley. Instead of doing Big E and Lashley at Extreme Rules, they did it on Raw. I'm guessing because Raw is in the fight for its life with Monday Night Football, they just decided whatever we're going to do on Raw. But this is a very SmackDown heavy show. I personally think that Peacock would be better served if WWE, and I know there's a lot of people will be pissed off about this because they don't like the brand split. I think they would be better off if they did single brand pay-per-views. I know people are probably screaming at me right now that it's evil, that the single brand pay-per-view era was horrible. Nobody wanted to see them shits. But you have to realize that's really how we got a lot of the young guys over. Is when they were single brand pay-per-views, there was no need to do crossovers. And we actually got a chance to see guys like Eddie Guerrero and John Cena. We got a chance to see them grow. You know, Batista got a chance to main event pay-per-views instead of being behind Triple H. You know, it was a good thing. And I think if they're going to do a hard brand split, the only super show should be the Big Four, which would include Money in the Bank, and the Saudi shows. Everything else should be single brand. You know, I don't see why, I mean, it'll help the TV, that's for sure. If Raw has a pay-per-view, SmackDown doesn't, then SmackDown can focus all their good stuff for TV. If, then vice versa. If SmackDown has a pay-per-view and Raw doesn't, then Raw can save its stuff for pay-per-view. That's what they used to do during the single brand era. I know I'm saying some things people don't like because they're probably going to say there was no good single brand pay-per-views. And you might be right about that. But look at the price point now. The price point now is you're paying $5. And some people barely use Peacock as it is because it's a nightmare to use. But if they can get you to tune in twice a month instead of once a month for a pay-per-view, wouldn't that be better for them as a business? And it would be better for the performers. They actually get more chances to work. And then you could have people who will say, look, there's a lack of opportunities for the wrestlers. It'll increase opportunities because it will force you to build a single brand pay-per-view, which means you were forced to have storylines for that single brand pay-per-view. Instead of saying, oh, well, they'll watch that show because Roman Reigns is on it. Versus they'll have to watch this show because we stacked this show for what's the name. And then you might have a problem with like Fox. That might be an issue. But they're doing some other things with Fox, so who knows? I'm just pitching this out there because I'm looking at the card and I'm saying to myself, it's 3 women's matches, 3 men's matches, if my math is correct. But it's very SmackDown heavy. And we could have just taken the 2 Raw matches off of here and replaced them with SmackDown matches and just had a single brand pay-per-view. So it's probably was sad to still had the same amount of intrigue. But let's get into the show. I know y'all are probably very upset with me right now as I spent 4 minutes trying to sell you on a single brand pay-per-view. Maybe I ought to look into that. What was the best single brand pay-per-view? If you think, what was the best single brand pay-per-view to you? Let me know in the comment section below. Mine would probably be a SmackDown event because I was far more into SmackDown during that era. I really liked No Mercy. It was a No Mercy where Undertaker wrestled Mr. Kennedy. And I think Benoit versus Chavo Guerrero. I don't remember what the main event was, though. I think it might have been Booker T, Batista, Finlay, and Lashley. I think it was supposed to be Booker T and Lashley, but then they changed it to a fatal 4-way match. Hopefully that's not wrong. But I had a lot of fun with that particular No Mercy. I think it was No Mercy 07. Yeah, because I think that's when Booker T won the title, 07, right? I had a lot of fun with that show. You know, some of the Raw shows were unbearable, but some of the SmackDown shows weren't that bad. But let me know what your favorite single brand pay-per-view was in the comment section below. So let's get into this thing here. Boy. Match 1, Liv Morgan versus Carmella. They have not done a good job building this up. I have no idea why this is on pay-per-view. I have no idea. I have no idea why this is a pay-per-view match. I don't know what they're feuding for, other than Liv Morgan doesn't like that Carmella calls herself the most beautiful woman in WWE. This is what happens when you don't have characters and you don't have neither one of these two are workers. So you can't just put them in the ring and people like what they do, right? They're not workers. They're personalities. At least they're supposed to be. They give Liv Morgan absolutely nothing. And Carmella has regressed, as I said before. This match, the purpose of this match is for Liv Morgan to win. So Liv Morgan is going to win. The question is going to be, however, what are we going to do after this? Because does Liv Morgan get Bianca's spot if Bianca loses? That's not going to work. that ain't going to work. I can tell you that much. People ain't going to buy that one. But maybe Liv Morgan's going to be set up to get moved back to Raw. And who knows? But it's a crowded field. And every day we get closer to Bayley returning. And, you know, she eats up a lot of TV time. So I don't know. Let's move on. SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The Usos versus the Street Profits. I love this match. I hate that they did it on TV a couple of weeks ago. I think it needs a gimmick. It needs some type of stipulation. I'm not going to try to say gimmick. I'm going to say stipulation. They need a stipulation. Like, I would like for it to be like a ladder match. But I really do want them to build up. Like, I want to do something cool. You know? It would be cool if we could do something sweet, like a tag team I quit match. Like, one of the members of the team has to quit. Or both team members of the team have to quit. A 2-man, last man standing match. You know, something crazy like that. You know, that's the kind of shit that I would be doing if I had, like, the book, right? I would be doing silly stuff. That's why I can't, you know, like, I have good storyline ideas, but then I'll have, like, crazy gimmicks that I want to do. Not anything like setting people on fire or triple cage matches or anything like that. But I just want to see if it'll work. How would we do a last man standing match in tag team format? You know, does one person of the team have to not answer the 10 count? Or do both of them have to not answer the 10 count? Can you have an I quit match where one person quits and the other one doesn't? You know, that kind of thing. But them just having a straight up tag team match is going to be good because the Street Profits and the Usos are good teams. But again, if you're going to do rematches, they should be gimmicked or stipulations so that they feel fresh, and at least they feel fresh. This one doesn't. So I'm going to go with the Street Profits. I think they're probably going to move the Street Profits back to matter of fact, I don't think either one of these teams are going to move. So, you know, I think they both are pretty much SmackDown teams. If they are willing to move any team, it'll probably be the Street Profits. Because they need some help on Raw. Raw is in bad shape. As far as talent is concerned, they're in bad shape. All right, United States Championship. One of the only 2 Raw matches. Damian Priest versus Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. I think this match is pretty much guaranteed lead pipe lock to be Damian Priest. Love Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy deserves, you know, to be pushed at least one more run at the top. You know, I know he wants to wrestle Roman. Probably won't actually happen unless he gets moved to SmackDown, which I think he will. But you know, Damian Priest needs to win. He's beat Sheamus 100 times already. He's beaten Jeff Hardy too. So I don't really see the point of this. If Damian Priest was to lose the title, it'd probably be more likely to Jeff than Sheamus. But I don't see him losing. I don't see the point in him losing. I don't see the benefit in him losing. So we're going to go with Damian Priest. Raw Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss. I do truly believe that it's better for the division. I know this is another horrible thing for me to say. It's better for the division right now that Charlotte is the champion. Alexa is a better character, but there's no strong heels. So, like, who is she going to wrestle? If you have Alexa Bliss, the only person she can wrestle is Shayna Baszler, who has been doing nothing but jobs all year until she beat Nia Jax on Raw that one time. She hadn't been doing nothing but jobs all year. They've beaten every heel to paste. None of the heels have any credibility. So Charlotte's the only one with any credibility. So if Charlotte beats Alexa, then you still have some options. You have Doudrop, which I really hope they change that name. And they also, they have you always go back to Rhea and Nikki, but I don't see, whatever. Now, is this going to be a program where they're going to have more than one match? I think that's probably more likely, is that, this match won't be the end of their feud. But I say it's better for the division that Charlotte's the champion, because then you can build up faces to face her. Alexa as the champion works, but she's still doing voodoo, spooky stuff, and there's no strong heels. You can't even bring any over, if we're being honest. Like, there's nobody even on SmackDown other than Becky Lynch that you can consider to be a strong heel that Alexa Bliss can even wrestle. Sasha Banks is gone. Bayley's gone. Tamina and Natalya, you beating them to death, and they're not really over anymore. Nia Jax is gone. Shayna Baszler was doing 100 jobs, and now has almost zero credibility. Most of the other women are not even used. Aaliyah, Xia Li, Dakota Kai, Toni Storm. They're not even on TV. So, I guess that means there's opportunity there, but that would be more Charlotte's thing, because most of them are baby faces. Unless you turn one of them heel, which, there's nothing wrong with that. But that's always my idea, is you have to think beyond the match. And I don't see much storyline with Alexa Bliss being the champion. So I think Charlotte will probably win, and will probably win in some type of chicanery. Let's just say foot on the ropes, pull of the tights, or something like that. I'm going to go with Charlotte just to get her out of this situation. I personally would probably do Charlotte and Doudrop next, just because I think it'll probably be better for both of them that they do that. Because I think Doudrop can hold up with Charlotte. She's bigger, so that she can be a physical challenge, and Charlotte won't have to bully these small dolls around all the time. And maybe we can get Charlotte making fun of that name to the point where people change it. So maybe they hopefully get rid of that damn name. All right, SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. I said on my SmackDown review that I think they're building up Bianca Belair to be the first person to pin Becky Lynch since she won the title at WrestleMania 35. And I still believe that. So I'm going to go with Bianca Belair. But the storyline potential is not good, because outside of Becky, Bianca's beaten everybody else. She's just mopped the floor with Carmella pretty much every week for 2 months. And Zelina Vega is no threat, and there is no one else. So, the only thing is you have to, again, same thing with Raw, you have to bring in people. I can't believe they have people sitting at home, though. They have people who are under contract that haven't been doing anything forever, like Mia Yim and Xia Li and Dakota Kai and Aaliyah. And I know they're probably trying to wait till after the draft for some of them, but your division is dead. This division is dead. The women's division is not good. It's wholly not good. And you really don't have a choice but to fix this problem by and Bianca running roughshod over the division is fine, but we need fresh opponents, and we specifically need heels. The only other person who has any momentum on SmackDown, it wouldn't even be Liv Morgan because she lost to Zelina Vega. So it's nobody else. It's Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair at the top of the heap. Hopefully Sasha Banks returns and they can finally finish that thing that they were doing. Maybe they do something slick and Sasha Banks is the reason Bianca Belair loses. Who knows? But I'm guessing I'm going to go with Bianca Belair and just say she's going to be out there whipping her hair and maybe a rematch with Becky in the future. That's going to be my guess. All right, main event. Roman Reigns versus the Demon, Finn Balor. This match has been wholly overlooked because they have done no steam whatsoever on Finn Balor. Since they announced that the Demon was going to be his opponent, they decided to just say, forget it. We're not doing anything. I want them to turn Finn Balor heel, but I want them to do it on Raw. And I like the idea of the Demon. Roman Reigns beating the Demon is what it is. You know, I don't see. Look, Roman and Brock don't need the belt. Finn Balor could do something interesting with the belt, especially since there's a lot of baby faces on SmackDown who haven't gotten title shots because Roman's the champion. Well, there's a lot of heels, rather, on SmackDown that haven't gotten title shots because Roman's the champion. Number one on that list is Seth Rollins. You can't have Rollins and Reigns in a match against each other. You know, you're killing both of their heat at that point. You're going to turn one of them babyface. But if you're serious about pushing Seth Rollins, you know, back to the title picture, he needs a babyface to fight. And I think Finn Balor is that guy, if that's what you wanted to do. But I'm thinking they're probably going to move Seth Rollins to back to Raw, because it's just crowded with two long promo guys. You don't need that on SmackDown. So I'm going to go with Roman Reigns, obviously. I don't think he's going to lose to Finn Balor. Plus, I think they want the belt for Roman and Brock. So there that goes. So here's my predictions. Liv Morgan, Street Profits, Damian Priest, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and Roman Reigns. This is a 6-match show. It ought to be fun, with the exception of Liv Morgan and Carmella. That's going to be painful. Oh, it's going to be painful. Oh, it's going to be painful. They might throw something else on this show. If I had to guess, it'll probably be a women's tag team match or some other thing. You know, probably on the pre-show. Nobody's going to care. But this ought to be an interesting show, to say the least. Probably be one of the weaker shows that they put on, especially since they came back from the crowds. But we'll see. We gotta hope the draft makes things interesting. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, donate to the channel via Cash App or Subscribe Star, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Rap Circle is finally here. I know